Hey guys, welcome to Tita's Red Desk, my channel about watercoloring and other things I enjoy doing in life. Smile, it's good for you, it's good for others. Today I want to share with you this book I found about watercoloring, and from what I've seen so far and going through the pages, I'm confident to say that this should be the book that a beginner watercolorist get if you only want to get one book, which I think is impossible. But if you are, then this should be the book. This book was written in 1999, so it might be written in a little bit more old-fashioned way, and I've noticed some words that I haven't heard in the most recent lingo in watercolor, such as fugitive colors. I've heard about light fastness, not about fugitive colors, but that's that. The rest remains actual, and I'm going to do a quick flip through. First of all, this is the cover. It's a hard cover with some watercolor drawing in the front. The name is The Complete Watercolorist Essential Notebook, a treasury of watercolor secrets discovered through decades of painting and experimentation, by Gordon Mackenzie. So as you may be able to see, it's a thick book and it's quite big also. Then there's this special 10th anniversary collection, combines two of the best loved Northlight watercolor guides available, the Watercolorist Essential Notebook and the Watercolorist Essential Notebook Landscapes, clarifying and simplifying the various aspects of painting with watercolor. Gordon Mackenzie's The Complete Watercolorist Essential Notebook will encourage and challenge you with new possibilities. So he has been a popular artist and teacher for more than 30 years, so now we'll say 50 years, and etc. He lives in Ontario, Canada. So that's the book. It's a heavy book. It's 11 inches by 8.5, so like a regular printer paper, and it's full color, of course. And it starts like this. About the author, then index, then you get an introduction that I suggest you read. And I love the combination of professional pictures and these whimsical drawings as well. They're throughout the book. So watercolors, this is something about pigments that I haven't seen in any other watercolor books that I've acquired. And this talks specifics about which pigments and the numbers, and which ones are the best qualities. It even gives you brands here. And then here it tells you which pigments are of questionable quality and which ones to avoid. It talks about all the brushes, the paper, the palettes, and this is where I got my idea to make this handmade porcelain caulking watercolor palette. Great. This is where I got the idea from. And then he gives you techniques, many techniques with different brushes. Painting with a sponge, painting with a brush, painting with a knife, fading out color. So any technique, working wet in wet, any technique that you can think of in watercolor that I have heard of so far, it's here. Masking, how to use masking fluid. And then he gives you a step-by-step project. This is what I've been using as a marker. I'll leave it there. I'm on that page. A mix of techniques. Then he shows you perspective as well. So anything that you can think of about watercolor is here. This is a complete guide. Color theory, how to build your palettes. I'm not sure if this author is still writing. I will research a little bit more about him. But this is what I was telling you. So he goes from professional pictures of his watercolor drawings to this whimsical drawings, which is great. To save or not to save. So he even talks about the things that he agrees, or I agree with him. I guess he's the artist. I will be the student in this case. Not to go for the cheap stuff when you're learning. The landscapes. So now you go into these spectacular. Just don't want to get my book wet there. Paint quality charts. Again, we talk about these. So it's too much for me to show you in a video everything that you will find in this book, but I am confident to say again that if you want to learn watercolor and you're like me, self-taught, you don't have the time to go to school or the budget to pay a teacher, then you should definitely start with this book, and then you can move on to the other books that I have with the projects that have been the other books that I have been showing in my videos. You can check on those, but this will give you a general understanding of watercolor with some great additional extras that you want to learn if you're into watercoloring. So I flipped through it. I more or less looked at the index and the content, and I'm fascinated by it. I plan to read. This is not a book for you to, it's not a workbook. It's a book that you read, you practice some things, and you continue reading. So that's what I'm planning to do. I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to share the link on Amazon where you can get this book. I hope it's a good suggestion for you for where you are in your watercoloring journey right now. It's about $20. It's marked as $30, but you can find it for probably less. It's an older book, so you can probably find it used for a really good price as well. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Bye-bye.